What's up, everybody? It's Jeff with the Recovery. We got Shayne back. He's got his own channel, Shayne's World Real Talk. That's TAWK. What's up, Shayne? We're going to start off with, you going to prison, I guess.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me back. I kind of left off with, ended up going to Walpole because of the situation that I had with the whole blunt wrap situation. So I ended up going to Walpole, and this is the whole meat and potatoes of the whole story. I mean, this is where I was able to get my shit together because I couldn't do it any other time. So they sent me upstate, and I went to Walpole. It's an intake prison. I went in there, I was scared to death, to be honest with you. I heard war stories about it. I just wanted to get in, get out, and better my life. You know, I heard of opportunities, and there was programs, and there was all sorts of stuff. So once I got in there, I had to wait in the holding facility, which was Walpole, for 4 months. Okay, some people waited 3, 2, 3, 4. I waited 4.
Now,
okay, in that process, I went. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that 23-1 at Walpole? Is that like a receiving center?
No, it wasn't. It's really not 23-1 in any of the prisons out here except for the max and the counties. Like, there's a lot of movement in the mediums. Like, they had movement every hour. So yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to go up there, because I was horrible at sitting with myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, idle hands. So go ahead. You decided you were going to try to make the best of this?
Yes, and I did. So what I did was I ended up getting a job in Walpole for the 4 months I was there. So when you get in there, they hold you for 3 days. And you have no movement because you need to see the doctor and a social worker, okay? So I was sitting in there for 3 days. Then I finally get to see the doctor. I tell them everything that's going on. They end up prescribing me medication to kind of cope with my sister's situation, because I was a wreck. I never got to grieve the way I wanted to about the whole situation because I was just drowning it out with drugs. So when I was sober in there, it kind of hit me all at once. So yeah. I ended up getting some medication for that. It also helped with the sleep because I was still kind of withdrawing from the drugs. So I finally got a job in there, and I started getting good time to take off the bed. You know what I mean? I was getting 10 days a month because I had one of the best jobs in the system, and it was the license plate shop. I was making license plates. I was also making $30 a week. So it was 15 in my joint account, and then 15 that was in my savings account. So when I left, I would have a little bit of money. Okay, so I started off like that, and I was working there. I worked there the whole time until it was time to be shipped out. And I went and seen the caseworker. The caseworker was like, yeah, so you have 3 points, which was low, and I was able to go to a minimum. So right off rip, just being able to go to a minimum, I see my chances were pretty good. You know what I mean? I was kind of scared to go to a medium because I knew I would get caught in the politics. Yeah. And the minimum, there's still politics, but it's not really as bad as if you were to go to a medium. Yeah. So I kind of had a little bit more play with my sobriety and getting my shit in order.
Yeah.
So they had. Yes, go ahead.
No, that's the thing, is people don't realize how hard it is, to stay clean or stay out of the BS when you're locked up, because it's just, you're a victim of your environment to a point, so yeah, it does make a difference on what level you go to, as opposed to you actually being able to work a program and get clean and try to start, living right in general,
Yeah, of course. So, and then, so I went to this, it was called Shirley Minimum, okay? There was 3 prisons on the compound. That was where the max was. So Baranowski was the max, and then you had Shirley Medium, and then you had the minimum that was up the hill. So that's the one I went to. They had this program. It was called the CRA, the Correctional Recovery Academy. And you had to do it for 6 months. But just because you stayed in it for 6 months doesn't mean you were going to pass. You had to do what they told you. You know what I mean? You had to kind of show change, and there's a lot of things that went into it. You know what I mean? If you were talking back to the people, they were going to be like, listen, they keep giving you holdbacks. You know what I mean? So some of my friends were in that program for 11, 12 months, almost a year. You know what I mean? I was able to get out in 6 months because I just did what I needed to do to get the fuck out of there.
Okay, so it was like they did work on like giving you some tools to re-enter with, because that's what one thing it seems like. A lot of times people don't get the treatment they need when they're locked up. There's not, and state to state, I guess it's different on how many, the type of programs they have.
Yeah, and that's true. And in the county, you don't get nothing. You know what I mean? It's you get zero. But upstate, they had a lot of different things that you could do. You could go to school. You could learn mechanics. They had a lot of different things. So that's why I was so amped to just get out of the county, because I wanted to change my life. And I did a lot of things up there. But the Recovery Academy is what opened doors for me. So I had to do that for 6 months. Once I was done with that, I was able to start working on the outside work crew and kind of redevelop people skills. You know what I mean? I've been around fucking animals for the past, I don't know, year. Yeah. So I get to go out and work with the Department of Public Works and the DCR. And I learned some skills, weed whacking, landscaping. It was pretty cool,
Yeah. And that's the one thing is like, making the best of your time, and trying to come out with some type of tools I don't think many people go in with the right mindset sometimes, that, hey, I'm going to try to make the best out of a bad situation.
Exactly. And, I went in so many times with that horrible mindset of I wasn't going to change anything. And I didn't think that I could change anything. You know what I mean? Hi, baby. Do you know where my phone charger is?
When you got home, were you on like papers? Did you have time on your head, or were you on parole? How'd that work?
Yeah, I was on parole for 11 months. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find my charger because it's about to die. And then I will be screwed.
You're good. I'm going to say hi to everybody while you find your charger. Hey, Hey, Sadie. Let's see who else in here. I don't think I'm. What's up, Mert? Good to see you in here. Julie, hey. Yeah, man. So did you like getting plugged into like some type of recovery program when you came home?
No. So well, I guess you could call it a recovery program. I was in a sober house, so that was actually somewhat of a recovery because I was drug tested every Monday and Friday. I had some accountability, and I kind of had to grow up. You know what I mean? I had to just fend for myself.
Start living life on life's terms, huh?
Yeah, man, and it was overwhelming for sure. It was like one of the hardest things I ever did. But I didn't give up. You know what I mean? I kept trooping. Like I had a job that was only paying me $10 an hour. It was coming to a point where I couldn't pay my rent anymore. But instead of being like, fuck it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go look for another job. I ended up landing another job doing landscaping from the tools that I got from prison. Hey. So I had it works. You know what I mean? Whatever works.
Now, do you keep yourself busy, I guess, with your family life? I mean, what do you do to keep yourself sober? I guess.
So I have a routine, and routine is everything. Like I have my whole day on a schedule. Like everything that I do is hour by hour. So I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this, and it all just runs. So I have no time to think about anything other than what I need to do at hand.
Yeah. And that's the main thing is like, when addicts, I know when I get bored, that's when that's when I'm most dangerous to myself.
Yeah.
Idle. So, whether it's keeping busy with this, making videos, I think it's an awesome tool for recovery, to be able to share like we do and, just to support each other like that. So, yeah. So yeah, how did you get grounded and everything with the family? Did you stick it, like, how'd you get married in a family after everything, coming out? If you don't want me asking.
Yeah, no. So it's kind of crazy how this all happened, right? I was kind of a little too brutally honest so I went on a dating site, you know what I mean? And at first I looked down on it like, dude, I'm a decent looking dude. I don't need no fucking dating site. And my boy's like, listen, you need to try it. You know what I mean? You're out here alone. You have nobody. You might find somebody that you're interested in. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I put my pride to the side and I got this Plenty of Fish dating site.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was talking to a couple people, and my wife ended up. I messaged her, and she kept blowing me off. She kept blowing me off, blowing me off, blowing me off, and I was kind of like, this fucking girl, you know what I mean? She'll talk to me, and then all of a sudden, she's gonna blow me off. So
Yeah.
I just kept hitting her up, and then one day, she decided to just let her guard down, and she's like, yeah, well, looks like we have to meet up because you won't leave me alone. So
Yeah.
I said, all right, that's cool. So, we'll go out to the Chinese restaurant down the street. We got a really nice Chinese restaurant down here. It's like huge. So I ended up bringing her there, and she was kind of quiet. I wouldn't shut the fuck up. I was talking the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? I had the gift of gab. I was sober. I was happy. I was like, you know what I mean? I was always so like enclosed to myself that it just felt good to be sober. So I was, and she loved every second of it. You know what I mean? But what got her to want to be with me is because I was brutally honest in the beginning. I told her my whole story. I had a drug addiction, this, that, the third. Everything that was wrong in my life, I let her know. And like, she took me in like, wow, that took balls to even say that to me. You know what I mean? So she kind of worked with me, and we've been together ever since. It's going on 3 years, and we got 2 beautiful kids. We own our own home. Like, I couldn't be more happy, man.
That's awesome, man. That's hard, man. People don't realize to be able to get stable after doing time, even a year or two, and not, coming home and have to do it even through, some of the programs they have for reentry. It's hard, man. It's not that, it's an uphill battle the whole way. So
100%, man.
Props on that, man.
I appreciate it. But it, like, I've been living normal for so long that I don't even think about any of that stuff anymore. Like, that stuff doesn't even, like, I can't say that, because sometimes, like, I'll get a thought, but it's easy to drop that thought compared to how it used to be. Like, I got a thought and I ran with it 110%. You know what I mean? If it popped into my head, I had to do it. Like, nowadays, it just pops in and I'm like, yeah, see you later. And I'm able to pull myself out of it because I have so many things to look forward to now.
Yeah, and you got stuff to lose, and I think that's one thing that's helped. I'm in a similar boat. I got a family now, and like, I for a long time I never had nothing to lose when I was out there using, So yeah, awesome, man. You got a great story. You're doing a lot of good things on, sharing on your channel. What would you tell addicts out there struggling, man? Somebody using, kicking around the idea of getting sober. What would you tell them?
I would tell them to just not give up. That's a big thing because it's very hard it's so easy to give in. You know what I mean? You got to be tough. You can't bitch up. You got to fight it. If you're fighting for your life, and if you give up, you're giving up on yourself. You know what I mean? And it's so easy to do. And I did it so many times, but once you get that clean time, it's the best feeling in the world. It is by far the best feeling. I have so many good times sober. I've never laughed the way that I've laughed in these past couple freaking years with like just the belly laughs, bro, because of being sober and being able to like actually enjoy a good laugh. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's insane. Yeah. It's so awesome.
I know exactly what you're saying. And, just that feeling you have of just being with your family or having a good time. Like you said, I know exactly what you mean because I was always so numb. People think you're using and getting high and having fun, and it definitely was. Yeah. It's more of like just trying to get by to live. Yeah. So yeah.
And I'm always cracking jokes. You know what I mean? At work all day, I'm cracking jokes. I'm cracking jokes with my wife. That keeps it keeps it alive. It keeps me going. I'm always messing around and goofing off, and I mean, you got to have fun. If you don't have fun, you're just going to be miserable. And I was miserable for so long. I'm done being miserable.
So how long have you been home?
I've been home since May of 2016.
That's awesome. And yeah, that's great, man. And that just shows you can turn it around that quick, um,
Yeah.
To be 4 years later and you're, have your own house, man, and your own family. That's awesome.
Yeah. It all happened. It all happened like really fast too. You know what I mean? Like, I had to work on my credit, but once I got my credit up there, everything fell into place after that happened. It was nuts because I wasn't expecting all this to happen either.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've been working on my credit myself. And, that's one thing I tell people, like, life's still hard and life's still life, but, you're able to deal with stuff so much better when we're sober and we're not, you know what I mean? When you're doing the right thing, normally stuff will work itself out.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell everybody the name of your channel again, man.
So it's Shayne's World Real Talk. TAWK. The accent, I got the Fall River accent, so I had to make it original,
All right. Well, brother, we'll probably bring you back on maybe this weekend, and I appreciate you so much for sharing, man.
I appreciate you for having me on, and anytime I'm here, man. So
hey, keep grinding too. I like your channel and your content.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I actually just looked at your last video with
Scatter.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I was laughing.
Yeah,
so.